Vendetta's kit centers on relentless momentum and maintaining brutal close-quarters pressure. To start, she is a part of the flanker sub-role, so gains 75 more HP from health packs, 150 HP from small packs, and 325 HP from large ones, which can allow her to self-sustain, like getting a nice health refresh in moments in need, and stay in fights without relying heavily on the supports. Vendetta's passive is Onslaught, that fuels into her tempo, as it increases her attack and movement speed with every hit, stacking up to 5 times for 5.5 seconds and triggered by most of her abilities and melee strikes. And so the more she fights, the faster and deadlier she becomes. Like, just look at the difference. Her primary weapon, the big sword, is a Palatine Fang, a hard-like greatsword that deals 45 damage per swing and unleashing a 120 damage overhead strike every third attack, with airborne overheads that propels her forward while also dragging targets to the ground, making it great against airborne targets. She can also block with her sword with Warding Stance, as it blocks 75% of frontal damage, deflects melee attacks, and survive burst windows using an energy meter that drains when struck and while giving Vendetta a -30% movement speed penalty. The ability's energy will only deplete when it absorbs damage but won't regenerate during casting, and can take around 11 seconds to fully recharge. Also, it can take a maximum of 250 damage and must have at least 30% energy remaining to start blocking, but can go under if already blocking. Then her correlated ability, Projected Edge, fires a wide hard-light projectile for 70 damage at the cost of 30% energy, piercing enemies and deployables, while being a great way to finish off a kill who is trying to escape, and will put on early pressure against enemies who are close together. Whirlwind Dash sends her surging forward in a fast spinning slash for up to 70 damage, but with a fall-off range of 3.5 to 6.5 meters to do 35 damage, ignoring gravity during and knocking enemies back, and can collide with other bash-like abilities, such as Doomfist Rocket Punch, that will knock both participants down stunned. Soaring Slice lets her throw her sword, that will deal 50 damage to an enemy, then launch to it, guaranteeing an overhead strike afterwards, and granting powerful vertical mobility as this ties in nicely with reaching those flying targets. The sword has a 15 meters max range and lets you freely look around while launching to it. Wow. Sundering Blade is her ultimate, that charges through 3 escalating stages before releasing a massive cleaving strike, dealing 150, 200, 100, 400 or 200 respectively for direct or indirect, and ignores barriers, armor, and most defensive abilities, dealing devastating damage in a long, narrow arc. However, she does become vulnerable while charging to where it is best to play behind cover, since she can move during. Also, the ultimate has a time limit and she does slam into the ground to cast, so it is best not to do this at the edge of a map, etc. Her perks further shape her playstyle. The minor perk Raging Storm adds 3 extra hits to Whirlwind Dash for 30 damage each, which can help rapidly build on Onslaught, while Extra Edge reduces the energy cost of Projected Edge by 25%. And for her major perks, Relentless increases the maximum Onslaught stacks by 3, turning her into a hyper-aggressive duelist, and Siphoning Strike grants lifesteal on all overhead strikes, including her ultimate, rewarding precision by letting her heal through combat, which again plays into her self-sustainability. When attacking, turning your camera while swinging can help you hit further targets and also learn when not to swing, but when to block instead. Overhead Strike gives you a little hop that can help you quickly change movement direction, where you can also perform a bunny hop by holding jump after Soaring Slice to delay the overhead strike. Utilize the map layouts to get good rotations, flanking angles, and general cover, like using Soaring Slice to land on unexpected targets. With an ultimate, try not to deplete your energy bar before a fight so you can still block when needed, and her block can let her survive ultimates like DVA and Tracer. Canceling Soaring Slice with a jump, or just by aiming at the ground, will allows Vendetta to get a free overhead strike without changing position, which can allow her to combo 2 overhead strikes on the same target. Whirlwind Dash can be utilized to get environmental kills off the edges of maps if used well. Whirlwind Dash and Soaring Slice can be great to clean up kills and put pressure on a group of targets, but also try to learn when to use it to retreat, especially to gather a health pack. Since the ultimate slams down and leaves you open, look to utilize high-up cover to stay more concealed. You can also still hit mid-air targets. Vendetta, of course, has quick kill combos like these, and more. Marzia Bartolotti grew up being told she was destined for power. Her father, Antonio Bartolotti, was a feared arms dealer and major talent figure that raised her to take pride in her heritage and pushed her to be ambitious. She struggled to make friends and often clashed with her father, especially over how his choices shaped her life, including losing her mother so young. Worried that Antonio's arrogance could jeopardize her future, she studied his business closely, preparing to inherit everything he built. But when Blackwatch assassinated Antonio, Marzia's worst fears became reality. With his death and his operations exposed, she was forced out of Talon by figures like Augusto Viley, that seized the assets meant for her, and Doomfist, who denied her Antonio's council seat. Done with being dismissed, she vowed to reclaim her birthright, by force if necessary. Fueled by spite and determined to prove herself, Marzia trained relentlessly to become a fighter in the Coliseo's gladiator games. She wanted the entire nation to see what she could do, as her goal was simple: to be feared, respected, and unstoppable both inside and outside the arena. Through raw talent, persistence, and a ruthless persona, Marzia transformed into Vendetta. In the Coliseo, she entered every competition she could, and won them all. Beyond the arena, she expanded her wealth and built powerful connections. As her Coliseo fame opened doors, sponsorships turned into business deals and elite circles invited her in. All the while, she watched Talon crumble under Vilas' leadership and Doomfist's missed opportunities. After careful planning, Vendetta used her influence to reclaim parts of her father's territory and eliminate a Talon council member to send a clear message. Within Talon, her rising influence sparks constant controversy. As she builds her own empire, her alliances and ambition now threaten not just Talon, but the entire world. As of recently, after defeating Doomfist, Vendetta summoned Talon's remaining power brokers to her first council meeting. The room was divided and Vendetta made her intentions unmistakably clear. Treachery would not be tolerated in her new empire. Her message was simple and brutal. Talon would no longer be a fractured organization fighting itself. Under her command, Talon would be unified, efficient, and feared once more. As with the council under her control, Vendetta began shaping Talon into a force that reflected her ambition, not her father's shadow. A new era had begun, one built on vengeance, discipline, and absolute authority.
Sing, 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 sing.
Ooh, that brother's floating in the air.
I earned this.
Hello there.
Bye, have a great time.
Stop pushing the mirror.
Hello, we've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
Gotcha!
Hello?
I may not have a brain, gentlemen, but I have an idea.
Target locked.
Sing, 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 sing.
Another one.
Sing, 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 sing.
Another one.
Sing, 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 sing.